Okay, this is a video response to Brent 0331's challenge for a gear loadout for a 3-day ambush mission. I've got my gear laid out here. For the mission, I'm going to go wearing USMC Marpat. And the decision behind that is in Brent's mission briefing on day 2, we have an 80% chance of rain. That's going to get the foliage all wet. It's going to make it darker, almost monochromatic, and the Marpat pattern like this will probably fit the terrain the best. Laid out before us here, I've got all my gear. I'm going to go through it individually, then I'll camo up, load up, and go from there. Starting off with my ruck. Right here, I use the Blackhawk Special Operations ruck. Inside that ruck, I have a Blackhawk Hydroswarm system. This is 3 liters of water. So this is going to be my main supply of water. Also on the ruck, in the flap, you have this big pocket here. This is where the claymore is going. So we have easy access when we go to place it. Have this large pocket on the bottom. In that large pocket, 100 rounds, Link 7.62 NATO. It's part of the packing list. The other items that will be in the pack, starting over here, since wet weather is going to be an issue, I've got a set of Haley Hansen Serious wet weather gear. I'm staying dry no matter what. Also, I have an e-tool with us if we need it. I choose to use the Glock e-tool. And the main reason I do that is not only is it a good e-tool, a little bit longer, a little bit more leverage, you also have the ability to put a saw on it and cut down branches and stuff for concealing our ambush position. And that little handy tool is going to go in this pocket on the rucksack right here. Next over, as you can see, all the gear is laid out on a poncho. I have a second poncho here for forming a hooch if we have to. As part of my sleeping system, I'll wind up between the 2 ponchos inside my whoopee here. And that's going to how I'm going to sleep and keep warm at night. Also, I have extra skivvy shirts. I run extra socks. Yes, they're white socks. I can't run green wool GI socks simply because they cause my feet to have infections and rashes. I have some extra camo bandanas for keeping the sweat off my face. Got an extra set of uniforms in case we get wet. Sniper veil for camouflaging myself, or if we ditch the rucks, I can camouflage my ruck. Have a terrain model kit right here. So when we're doing our briefings about how we're going to set up, I can model everything. When we set up our ambush, I've got some tripwire equipment here. Also, I have a heat tab and a little heat stove. If we get into a hypothermic situation, I have the ability to warm up some water and heat up some stuff so people can get warm. Yes, I've got a glow belt because during the day this is a good signaling marker if we need it, but otherwise it's going to stay buried deep in the pack. For light, I'm going to be running some chem lights, and I have a chem light holder here so I can control the amount of light and when they're used. Also, VS17 panel, and that's for signaling air support if we're lucky enough to have it, or for signaling extraction. Also, running a roll of green 100-mile-an-hour tape because it's always handy. Paracord for the exact same reason. I have a hygiene kit here. Got toothbrush and shaving gear. The main reason I've got the shaving cream is for removing the camo makeup when we're done. Next, good old nice roll of Charmin because we all know MRE toilet paper sucks and doesn't work. Then I have a set of baby wipes for cleaning up and keeping clean. I also have a space blanket, another thing to help if it gets really cold or a hypothermic situation. To deal with the cold at night, I have my parka here with liner. It's in Night Desert Camo. Now we all know Night Desert Camo was purpose of feeding Gen 1 Soviet night vision devices. However, this still has some limited effectiveness at night and it blends in well. Next on, I have a large first aid kit. It's been a little damaged in the field, but the contents are still intact. This is for injuries that happen, minor ones, and for restocking my personal first aid kit that's on my 782 gear. Next, I have my battery pack right here, running 3 MREs for a 3-day op, and I've left these sealed in the bag for demonstration purposes, but should we load up and actually go on this op, I would open them up, strip them down, and take out the unnecessary stuff to save the space and the weight. Moving on to some other gear here. Since we're running a night vision thing, I've got my PVS 14s. Since our ambush could possibly be at night, or we have to let out at night. When we get to the site, I have a small pair of binoculars. Once again, binoculars are in a plastic bag for waterproofing. The PVS 14's got a Willie Peter bag to keep them in, because none of this matters if this stuff gets wet and ruined. Got a weapons maintenance kit. Also have an extra trauma kit here that's going to be in my butt pack. I've got my land navigation kit, and in my kit I've got colored pencils, I've got my protractor, I've got pens and a pad of paper. Also got my fire starter here. Got a roll of electrical tape because tape is always handy. And I actually have my original survival manual issued from the SEER School. I have some camo here. I've got tubes of camo paint and a little camo compact. I use the tubes for the initial application, and then I use the camo compact while we're out on the op for keeping things updated. For when the camo wears off, or I keep doing this and wiping it off. Moving on to my 782 gear. Running a Blackhawk butt pack. Nice and open thing. In there, keep my map case. Go with my map reading gear. Got my pad of paper for writing things down. It's a nice voluminous butt pack, and the nice thing about it is the attachments with these clips here. Makes it a lot easier to get into than threading the straps to the buckle on the old GI one. The worst part about this butt pack is Blackhawk doesn't make it anymore. Next to that, I've got a GI canteen on each side. I love GI canteens. I think they're good devices. Each of these canteen covers has a canteen cup in the bottom. Once again, if we got to heat stuff up later on. And also, it makes it easier getting the canteen back into the cover. And I've got my mag pouches here. Each one of these mag pouches can hold 5 magazines, so well above the requirement of the mission, because firepowers like section rock and roll, too much is never enough. These mag pouches are awesome because they have adjustable side pockets. And here's the required M67 frag on this one. And here's the other required M67 frag. On the other pocket, on this one, I run my GI Lensatic compass. On this one, I run my GPS for nav. Also attached to this mag pouch is I have my K-bar and a Blackhawk airborne knife sheath. And just like the mag pouches, Blackhawk doesn't make this anymore. Inside the little pocket, keep a lighter, fire starter, and I keep a multi-tool, which, believe it or not, is probably of the 2 knives the one that gets used a lot more. Also have the Blackhawk padded H harness. The big padding on it helps distribute the weight, especially when you have your pack on its extra layer of padding. I've got my Ranger beads for pace counting, and I have a little red light here for map reading. Also in the front, I've got a little pouch here that I keep my IR strobe in, should we need it for calling in support or marking and extraction. And I have 2 pistol mag pouches because too much is never enough. Right here we have the 2 pop flares that are part of the packing list. In addition to that, I have the mag lula strip lula. Nothing's better for loading mags. Then we have some comm here. Got the radio, got an earpiece, got an extended antenna, and that's for individual inter-team comms. Have my M4 that I'm running here. Yes, I do have a bright white light on it. Probably won't use it on this op, but I have it if I need it. Also have a brand new MRO that's camouflaged. And as per the requirements, you can see that is a real rifle. My initial mag that I run in it is camouflage to help out. I'll camouflage my hands by using a pair of mechanics wear gloves. Going to run a Marpat boonie hat on this. And my sidearm, GI issue M9, because the classics work really good, running in a Blackhawk Serpa holster. Okay, this is my first layer, and as my first layer, I keep my pistol on me, and I keep my comm system here in the arm pocket with the earbud. This is so when all the gear's gone, I still have comms, I still have a weapon. Okay, next we have the map kit here. So we've marked up our map, we're getting ready to move out in the op. This needs to be handy all the time. So this goes into my left cargo pocket because I'm right-handed. Put it in, so now that's all with me. Now, going into the butt pack. My notepad, my map reading gear, I've done my marking up. Next part going in, my deep survival gear. Then my binos, waterproofed. My 14s, waterproofed. And with them, my extra batteries, also waterproofed. Waterproofing your batteries is very important. They get soaked, they start to leak, rust, and then when battery acid gets all over your gear, you're not using it again. So waterproof that all up. Then goes in weapons cleaning kit, emergency eye pack. Okay, that gets cinched down. Both canteens will be topped up. Got the frag grenade here. Wrap up the compass. Okay. On this side we've got our GPS packed up. We have our other frag grenade here. At this point, our LBE is basically ready to go. Now packing the main pack. VS17 panel in the bottom for easy access. In goes the extra round, so it's easy to get to when we get to the spot when we set up our machine guns. Hydration bladder is going to be filled, sealed into the pocket. The tube, of course, will be draped out so I can use it while we're humping. Okay, packing up our internal pockets now. Spare uniform down in the bottom because I'm not going to try to use it if I don't have to. And the reason I'll be using it is if this uniform just gets soaked to the point that it's unusable. And then comes the whoopee. Notice that I had the spare uniform and the whoopee in plastic bags for waterproofing. Then comes extra skivvy shirts. Extra socks more near the top because that's where they're going to be more used. Let's see, and then parka, also near the top. Now I'm going to start to put other things in the pockets. First, my big Ruck first aid kit. Going to go in this pocket right here. Next pocket over. Going to put in my frame model kit. Okay, so TP goes in the top pocket for the access. Next pocket down. Baby wipes, space blanket, tripwire gear, if it wants to cooperate. Okay, this pocket over here, 100-mile-an-hour tape, long-range comm antenna, 2 pop flares, extra 550 cord. Okay, moving on to finishing off the pack, putting in the wet weather gear. Into our top pocket here, so we put our chem lights, put in our flow belt, heat kit, sniper veil, and extra do-rags. And the poncho over here on this side in this big large pocket. And the hygiene gear, stuff down the side with it. And I pulled out my comm gear, which was a mistake. Okay. The camo gear is going to be kept in my butt pack, with this one in my pocket. Speed loader also kept in my pocket. So I have another battery on the side here. Another 2 MREs in the pack. Last but not least, poncho goes inside. And then goes the poncho after it's all folded up. And pack ready to go. All right, here we are, gear loaded up. And ready to step off on the mission.